Hello and welcome. This first episode is going to be dealing with basic rules of dialogue when creative writing. So let's look at these rules. So number one, you need a new paragraph when a new speaker is introduced. So let's say you have Bob and Sarah who are speaking. Typically, new writers, especially at the lower grade levels, will try and cram everything together. So hello, said Bob. Hello, said Sarah. And then Bob, of course, is going to reply, how are you doing, on the same line again. So, not good. You need to put each line of dialogue to a new line when a new speaker is being introduced. So, it's fairly basic, but it's a common problem. Number two, avoid fancy dialogue tags in general. I say in general because fancy dialogue tags can be used once in a while, but 80 to 90% of the time, at least, I think, he said, she said, Bob said, whatever, that's going to be more than enough. So sometimes you might see someone who says, hello, Bob whispered. And then Sarah is going to reply, hello, Sarah, reply. And then Bob might say, how are you doing? He wondered. So you shouldn't have whispered, replied, wondered, yelled, etc. every single dialogue line. It's going to get really, really annoying. It's not going to be fancy. Even if you look through the thesaurus and look up all the fancy words, it's just going to look like you're a novice writer. So please, he said, she said, look through books that you may have. You'll see for the most part they use he said, she said. So avoid fancy dialogue tags. In general, you can throw in a whispered once in a while. That's fine. Number three, please do not try to be perfectly realistic. Approximate real speech, but don't try and copy it. So if you copied real speech, it would sound like this. I think that we should blah, blah, blah. So there's going to be lots of pauses. There are going to be lots of interruptions, which is extremely complicated when writing dialogue with multiple characters in the same scene. So you don't want to have that same chaotic atmosphere in writing. So you're approximating real speech, you're taking the essence of it, and you're putting it down. You can still have a pause, you can still have characters say, I don't know, but if you do it too much, it's going to get annoying again. So please be careful with this. It's something you're just going to have to generally get a feel for. The last basic rule of dialogue is that dialogue must have a purpose. Like anything you put down the page, it must have a purpose for humor, to affect the pacing, to speed it up, to advance the plot, maybe characters revealing details about a murder, etc., to reveal information about character, how the two characters interact will tell you a lot about those two characters, what they say to one another, how they say it, etc. So those are your 4 basic rules of dialogue. In the next video, we're going to be looking at dialogue and punctuation, because that is a common problem as well. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.